I'll admit it, I used to be a little bit embarrassed I was reading or especially listening to ACOTAR or Fourth Wing. I tilt my book away, avoid telling people what I was reading, or triple or quadruple check that my AirPods were connected to my audio and not playing out loud. Well, I actually still do that, but I'm happy to talk about the books I read with anyone now. We'll talk about all the stuff, pros and cons I hear about smut reading, but by the end of this video, I hope I convince us all to be a little more judgment-free and a lot more open to all kinds of books. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll convince you to read some smut with me too. Welcome back to Amy Ann's Reads, and today we're talking about smut. Yes, that is all that spicy book stuff, and why I have stopped being ashamed of loving them. Now, we're going to talk honestly about my early reading habits because up until a year and a half ago or so, I was reading mostly nonfiction. I mean, as a kid, I read a lot of fiction, but I went high nonfiction, and then about a year and a half ago, a coworker said, "You want to read ACOTAR with me? It is all the rage." And that sent me on all kinds of romantasy, fiction. Now I read everything. I mean, ACOTAR started, but then I went into Fourth Wing and then made me start Book Talk, BookTube, Bookstagram, all of the things. So now I read everything, as you can see on this channel. So curious what your main genre is, or if you're a big reader of everything like I am, whatever you read, you are welcome here. Now let me explain how I felt a little hesitant, embarrassed, or judged when I was reading books with spice or smut, because as a mom and as a Christian, I felt like, oh, I don't know if I should be reading that stuff. There was no real huge, I guess, reason for that. I guess that's just how I grew up. And it was kind of like this taboo thing to read about, right? But there's this weird hierarchy also that I want to address in book communities where certain genres are considered more valid or more good reading than others. And romance and smut often get that short end of the stick. If you know what I'm talking about, let me know in the comments. But let's talk about how Fourth Wing just broke open the genre for me. It's fantasy and romance. It hits on both of those sides. It's not just about smut. I'm not judging you if you do, but I personally would not read smut just for the sake of the smut. I want deep world building. I want deep characters. I want all the theories of what's going to happen next and world building and all of that stuff that hits me deep in the heart. This made me smile, cry, giggle, get angry, just all of the different emotions, and I come to love all the different characters in there, and there's so much action in this. And this one, I'm actually really excited that I got my husband to read it with me too, because I read it first and I went, "Hey husband, you want to read this with me? But I'm just gonna let you know that it has a lot of sex in there. It's quite spicy." And he says, "That's okay. I'm okay with that. I know what it is." So he read it with me, and while he is not as gung-ho on it as I am, he did read all three that are out right now. So he is caught up through Onyx Storm. Very, very excited that we got to read these together because he's not a huge fiction person either. But that's a win, friends, that he read it with me, and can't you tell he loves me so much? But this just opened up an avenue to all kinds of different things. So then I went, and you can see all the different monthly reviews that I do of all the books that I have read. But there are so many romantasy books in there. There are so many romance books in there. There are so many nonfiction books still in there as well, because I do like my personal growth and all those other books still. But these just make me turn those pages and make me want to come back, and my commutes get funner because you're on the edge of your seat like, what is going to happen next? It's great. It's great. And I have no shame in it anymore, but I'm going to tell you also, I don't know if it's because of the common criticisms that I'm not going to talk about next about smut, but I had a mom friend that I asked her what she was reading, and she was very hesitant, and it was the Fourth Wing series. And when she finally admitted to it, I went, "Oh my gosh, I love that series. Can we talk about it?" And then we started talking about all this stuff. But I was that way too, where I was hesitant, and didn't really want to admit that I was reading this spicy romantasy series, but I also got a few other people hooked on it too. So very excited about that and excited to talk about books with anyone and everyone, especially the ones that I absolutely love. But if other people didn't love it, it's okay. You are allowed to have your own opinion. Okay, I totally sidetracked on that, but let's talk about common criticisms that smut has. Have you heard these things? It's not real literature. It's just porn. Women only read it for the sex. It's not intellectually stimulating. The list could go on, friends. I'm just going to pause right there because no one says these similar things about thrillers that are filled with violence or dramas with all these manipulative relationships or all these things that are just not great, right? And there's also like, oh, Christians shouldn't be reading that. Friends, reading is a form of escape, pleasure, empowerment. There's so many different things you can learn from it, which is why I absolutely love reading. Reading smut doesn't make you less smart. It doesn't make you less serious or less of a real reader. Also, let's talk about audiobooks. It's still reading, friends. I don't care what you say, it is still reading. As for the Christian thing, friends, I don't think it makes me any less faithful because I am reading this. And you know what it says about judgment, right? We should not judge others because there are so many things in our own lives. Take that log out of your own before you look at the other person, right? So I will leave it at, it's not right for everyone. It is not. So making you stumble or it's making other people stumble around you, then don't read them. But if other people feel okay with it, don't judge them and hold them to your same standards just because it's not right for you. At the end of the day, it's not for you to judge. It's not for me to judge. For many, it's a way actually to explore identity, power dynamics, emotional vulnerability, and sexuality all through the safe space of fiction. There are so many things to learn from all the different love relationships in there, whether it's romantic or all the other love relationships we have, right? There is personal freedom in what you choose to read. We should be allowed to love what we love and let others do the same. Just because you don't love it doesn't mean you should judge the people that read other things, right? And the truth is, reading about love and sex doesn't make you less holy or less smart. We know that it's a natural thing. We know that it was given by God as something for humans, right? This is how we procreate. I have 2 kids. You know that, right? So it's happened at least twice. I just remember a coworker's story about that when his kid approached him and said, "Oh my gosh, you guys did it." But anyway, that's for a different day. Let's be honest, friends. Reading a little spice, like reading this together, might even help you in your real life relationship. Just saying. Instead of judging people about what they read, how about we do a little more compassion and provide a little more perspective and be a little more curious? We don't all read for the same reasons. We can read for all different reasons. It can be just for fun. Reading for pleasure is absolutely valid. There's emotional growth, fantasy elements, and deep real-world themes even in the steamy stuff. And if you've never read any of these books, and if you are starting to get into it or want to give it a try, I have my absolute favorite deep world building, character building, smutty stuff that I would highly, highly recommend, and that I bought them. I bought them because they were amazing. Okay. Now I'm also curious, is there a book that made you feel so excited about it, so willing to talk about it with people that you just stopped feeling ashamed of reading this genre of books? If you do, let me know what that book was, because like I told you, Fourth Wing was that for me. Started book talk, right? Had to talk about it with someone because I didn't know that many people in real life that were reading it with me, other than the few, and then I just wanted to talk to more people. I just wanted to talk about it all the time and theorize and all that jazz. What was it for you? So if you take nothing else away from this video, I want you to love and share what you love reading without shame. Is it romance? Is it fantasy smut? Is it cozy murder mysteries? Is it thrillers? Is it biographies? Is it business stuff? I don't know. It could be all of the above like me. Well, actually, I don't really like the horror stuff and the thriller stuff that much. It's about finding what makes you love and enjoy the experience of reading, because reading expands our minds and our hearts to be more empathetic to others and to just expand our knowledge of the world. Be curious, be exploratory, and don't judge others based on what they read. So I know what people say about smut, but I am done hiding what I read, and I hope you feel more empowered to do the same. I'd love to hear what you think about spicy books. Do you love them? Do you hate them? Do you judge people? Or if you love real talk about books, hit that subscribe button. If you want to know one of my favorite spicy authors, Kate Stewart, head to that. See you in the next video.